Hello friends, welcome to Shiksharthi. In this video, we will be discussing medians under the head of geometry. So let's start. Now in the very first place, let us try and understand what is a median. So if I say that median, now before I explain what is a median, let me draw a triangle that I have already drawn here. Right, such that it is already given in the triangle. So we have taken the vertices of the triangle as ABC, such that AE is equal to EC. Now when I say AE is equal to EC, that means we are saying that E is the midpoint of the line segment AC. At the same time, we are saying D is the midpoint of the line segment DC, and at the same time we are saying that F is the midpoint of the line segment AB. So this piece of information is already given in this discussion, or you can say this piece of information is already given in this question. Henceforth, if this piece of information is given, and now if I talk about the line segment AD, what is the line segment AD here? Now the line segment AD becomes the median on the side BC. Right. So now if I have to figure out the meaning or the definition of the word median, can we say that a line segment which is drawn from one vertex to the opposite side, such that a line segment that is drawn from, let's say, vertex A onto the side BC, such that the point D acts as a midpoint for the line segment BC. Therefore, we can say that AD becomes the median. In other words, median is a line segment which bisects the opposite side. If drawn from vertex A, which is the opposite vertex to the side BC, so in that case we can say that median is a line segment which is drawn from a vertex onto the opposite side to the vertex, which bisects the side. Now the next question which arises here is, what is the difference between the word dissection and bisection? So the word bisection or dissection, they mean the same, with a very small difference between the two. So bi means two equal parts and di means two parts. Now when we say two parts, we generally take it as two unequal parts, and when these two parts become equal, then the word dissection gets converted into bisection. Okay, next thing here. So now this is, if this piece of information is given, then we can say that all these line segments, the line segments AD and the line segment BE and the line segment CF, will be known as the medians of the triangle. Okay, had this been given, if this would have been given, let us say if this piece of information would have been given, in that case we could have said this happens. This happens means the median divides the side into two equal parts, is what we are trying to say here. Okay. Now the third thing which arises here is, what is the point of intersection of all the three medians? So we know that inside the triangle we can draw three medians. The point of intersection of the medians is known as the centroid. In other words, we also call it as geometric centers. So if you see my earlier videos, if you would have already watched my earlier videos, we have talked about these words, these terms being used. So when I say a geometric center, there are four geometric centers inside a triangle or of a triangle. And those four geometric centers, among those four, we are talking about one among them, and that is the median, which is the centroid. We are talking about the intersection points of the medians, which is known as the centroid. So centroid happens to be one of the geometric center of a triangle among the four geometric centers. Okay. Thereafter, the next point which arises here is, so I can make three cases here. What are the three cases? All the three medians may not be. When I'm talking about the line segment AD, happens to be one of the median. The other median here is BE, and the third median here is CF. So the length of all these three medians or the line segments, which are nothing but the medians only, may not be equal to one another. So this will happen in which kind of a triangle? This will happen in a scalene triangle. Similarly, any two medians, so let us say any two medians, I am referring to median BE and the median CF. They may be equal, and the third median, which is AD, may be unequal to both of these. So such a possibility or such a circumstance or a situation you will see in terms of an isosceles triangle only. Okay. The third is wherein all the three medians are equal to each other. So all the three medians will be equal to each other only in terms of an equilateral triangle. So we are talking about scalene triangle, isosceles triangle and equilateral triangle. Okay, having discussed this, the next point which arises here is this point centroid divides the line segment AD in which ratio? So let's say AG is to GD is one of the ratio that we are looking forward to. Second ratio that we are looking forward to is CG is to GF, and the third ratio that we are looking forward to is BG is to GE. So let us try and find out what could be a possible ratio. But before we do this, I am taking the replica of this triangle on this side. So we have taken the same triangle on this hand side, on this side. Okay. So let us talk about some properties, I mean the byproducts of a median. So can I say the area of the triangle, I mean once I have drawn the medians, so these are the medians as discussed on this side. So AD happens to be one of the median, the next median here is BE and the third median here is CF. And we are taking it as a scalene triangle. We are discussing this under the head of a scalene triangle. So we are taking a case wherein all the three medians, the length of all the three medians or the line segments are not equal to one another. In that case, if I talk about these two triangles, okay, so when I am talking about these two triangles, can I say the area of the triangle BGD is the same as the area of the triangle CGD? Yes. How? We know that the length of BD is equal to the length of DC. So if I am dropping a perpendicular, so if you just see the same triangle I have drawn here, the only thing that I have not drawn here is the length of the medians. I have just taken the heights. So if I take, so what I have done here is I have drawn only this much of the triangle. So I have drawn the triangle ADC for you to understand how to find out the area. But before that, I can just drop a perpendicular from here to here. Now this is a perpendicular which is common to both the triangles. Which both the triangles? We are talking about triangles BGD and the triangle CGD. So if the perpendicular is the same and their base is the same, then we can say that the area of these two triangles henceforth would be equal to each other. Let us say that their areas are capital A and capital A. Similarly, the same analogy we can establish for these two triangles. Height being the same and base being the same, we can say that the area of the triangle BGF is the same as the area of the triangle AGF. Let's say that the area here is capital B. Okay. If it looks to be confusing, maybe we'll take another value because we have already taken the vertex as this. Okay. So let's put it as this area is A1. This area is A2. And similarly, we can establish the same analogy for this. So we can say that the area of the triangle AGE is the same as the area of the triangle CGE. Once we are able to establish this, now can we say that the area of the triangle ABD, so we are talking about the area of the triangle ABD, can we say is the same as the area of the triangle ADC? Yes. How? Same base and same height. So the base for this is A and the base for this is A again, and the height is same. And let's say that the height of this triangle is H1. Height of which triangle? We are talking about a perpendicular drawn from the vertex A on the side BC. Let's say that the height is H1. Right? So from here, can I say that A1 plus 2A2, which is just like saying that the area of this triangle is equal to the area of this triangle, which is just like saying this is nothing but A1 plus 2A3, which is again like saying what? I mean A1 plus 2A2 is equal to A1 plus 2A3, which is just like saying A2 is equal to A3. At the same time, can I say the area of the triangle BAE using the same analogy as we had used here? Can we say that the area of the triangle BAE is the same as the area of the triangle BCE? Once we have said this, then we'll be able to say that A3 plus twice of A2 will be the same as A1 plus twice of A3. Oh, just a minute. So can we say twice of A2 plus A3 is the same as twice of A2, twice of A1 plus A3 is what we can say here. So from here, okay. So from here, can we establish that A1 is equal to A2? Yes. Combining both of these, can we say all these three areas, or let's say we are talking about these two areas, all these 6 areas would be equal to each other. Can we say this? Of course. And let us say all of these areas are equal to A1 now. It's not that we are talking in air. We have just established that the median, if I join the median, the centroid and everything, that the triangle gets divided into how many triangles? The original triangle gets divided into 6 triangles of equal areas. That is, and we are talking about scalene triangle, and when this is true for a scalene triangle, this will be true for all other triangles as well. So which are the other varieties of triangles here? We are talking about isosceles and equilateral as well. So this is the great learning from here. So once you have learned this, if you recollect the video on congruency, wherein we talked about 2 congruent triangles will have equal areas. But so now let's talk about the converse of the statement. Now what is the converse of the statement? When we talk about subject to the object, now the object becomes the subject and the subject becomes the object. So now if we say 2 congruent triangles will have equal areas, what is the converse of this? The converse of this is when areas of 2 different triangles are equal, then they need to be congruent. This may not be true, and this can be proved from here. I'll repeat. 2 congruent triangles will have equal areas, right? We have already done this in the past, in the earlier videos. What I'm trying to establish here is, can I say that 2 triangles having equal areas, is it necessary for them to be congruent? No, not at all. So 2 triangles having equal areas may be congruent, may not be congruent. But congruent triangles, 2 congruent triangles will always have equal areas. This is what I'm trying to say. Now, the last thing here. So what I'm doing here is, I am taking only this part of the triangle. So what I'm taking is, I'm taking the triangle ADC, which I have already taken. And what is the objective here? I want to get the ratio of AG is to GD. This is the ratio that I need to get. Okay. So if you recollect my earlier videos, I have talked about the importance of 2 P's, 1S and 1C. Now, what are 2 P's here? One is parallel, the other is perpendicular. Third, S means similarity. Fourth, C means congruency. In the entire geometry, whether we talk about circles or we talk about triangles or we talk about quadrilaterals, you will see that these 4 terms are essentially used. Right? Okay, let's see how. So I have drawn 2 perpendiculars here. Why have I drawn? To establish that the triangle GDH is similar to triangle ADI. And once I have established this, then I can use the BPT theorem, which we have already done. So BPT theorem says now GD upon AD is equal to GH upon AI, which is equal to DH upon DI. And we are basically interested in knowing what? We are basically interested in knowing what? We are basically interested in knowing this ratio. If we are able to get this ratio, this is what we are interested in knowing. Now, the next question arises here is, can we find out the area of this triangle? Which triangle are we talking about? We are talking about the triangle we are talking about the triangle GDC. Okay. So can I say that the area of the triangle GDC divided by the area of the triangle, which triangle? Triangle ADC. ADC. is just like saying this is equal to half into base. Now what is the base for GDC? The base for GDC is the same as the base for ADC into their heights. So let's say P1 divided by H1. So I have taken the height of this triangle. This is the height that I had drawn. So this is P1, and the entire height of the triangle is wherein you can drop a perpendicular from this vertex A on this side DC. And the entire height we have taken it as H1. And we know by definition that P1 is not equal to H1. Okay. So from here we get this ratio as P1 upon H1. Okay. And we already know that the area of this entire triangle is 3 times of A1 and the area of only this triangle is A1. So can I say this ratio is nothing but 1 by 3? Right? Now how do I get P1 upon H1? Now P1 is just like saying this is nothing but P1 and H1 is nothing but just like saying AI. So can I say this ratio, this entire ratio comes out to be 1:3, in which GD is how much? Let us say GD is 1x and AD is 3x. So this ratio, I mean this part, only this part, AG is nothing but AD minus GD, which is 2x. So can I establish that AG is to GD is 2:1? Yes, I can. And analogously, you can establish the same ratio for the other medians also. For the other median means I can say that BG is to GE is also 2:1. And at the same time, we can say that CG is to GF also is 2:1. All the things that we have discussed in this video are very, very important for you to become, for your understanding to become progressive, because we will be using all these things when we are talking about quadrilaterals or when we talk about circles, or henceforth we talk about 3D geometry. If you feel that something very, very informative has been discussed in this video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. If you have already done so, click on the bell icon and select all so that you start receiving updates from us regularly. If you want us to do some special videos on some specific topics, please put it in the comment section. Thank you so much. Until next we meet, goodbye.